And we're back with the first batch of Epstein files, with hundreds of deleted pages and with a ton of redactions. But with the help of my AI assistant Callisto, I was able to process and organize the information from all the files fairly quickly. After finding the workaround, of course, because I did face many timeouts, blockages, and other interference along the way. As if there was some kind of matrix program put in place that didn't want us to be able to rapidly extract the information. Not so easily anyways. But with great patience and brainstorming back and forth, we were finally able to get results. Based on what was left of the data and the FOIA exemption codes, we were able to get a rough idea of what type of information was being hidden and why. After this batch of files, I have a large packet of flight manifests that I'll skim through. So let's dive right in, shall we? So right off the bat, you can see that hundreds of pages have been deleted, 258 pages, with these FOIA exemption codes, all the codes for each and every page. This means the information is being withheld under national security, law enforcement procedures, or privacy concerns. Mentions of the civil action number 17-CB-03956 could be a case reference tied to the Epstein-related legal matters. It shows court sealing order for about 100 pages, almost 50 some odd pages. So as you can see, the first few pages are heavily redacted. Not really much to see. That's more of the FOIA codes. They interviewed a former houseman, Alfredo Rodriguez. Was employed by Jeffrey Epstein for approximately 6 months. Chauffeur chef, butler, chauffeur chef, houseman, run errands for Epstein and provide for the guests. With a large section blocked out. More large sections blocked out. Can't really see too much. Then we have some newspaper clippings. Then we have some newspaper clippings, which of course are public knowledge. These were publicly shared. If you want to read further. But there wasn't really too much. There wasn't too much in here that was giving us any new information. That is until you get to page 21, which even still isn't really new information. It would have been public at the time. But in this article, a 16-year-old said that Epstein knew she was underage when he engaged with her. Another alleged victim, only 14 at the time, described a massage that turned into other activities. Epstein had allegedly threatened victims, warning them that bad things could happen if they spoke out. Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's attorney, intervened early in the investigation. Dershowitz provided prosecutors with damaging information about the victims, claiming they used alcohol and drugs to discredit their testimony. This tactic contributed to Epstein getting a lenient charge. Former Palm Beach County prosecutor Betty Resch confirmed that Epstein's victims were strategically chosen because they were from lower social classes and had troubled backgrounds. This made it easier for his lawyers to argue that their credibility was weak. Prosecutors avoided filing charges they knew would be difficult to win, despite overwhelming evidence. Larry Keller, a legal expert, stated that in these type of cases, juries tend to believe adults over children. If the child has a troubled history, such as drug use, abuse by others, or promiscuity, their credibility is weakened. Epstein's defense team used this bias to their advantage. All in all, this confirms the deliberate legal cover-up that protected Epstein. Victims were silenced using legal loopholes, grand jury manipulations, and credibility attacks. Alan Dershowitz's role in the defense strategy is now undeniable. Still not too much. Just more articles telling us what we already know. Similar to the Diddy situation, Epstein had cameras in and around his Palm Beach mansion. This article mentions Bill Clinton, Trump, Prince Andrew, and other prominent legal, scientific, and business minds. Also mentions Ghislaine, or Ghislaine, however it's pronounced, if you're French. This woman, Haley Robson, was a younger version of Ghislaine. She referred to herself as like a Heidi Fleiss, who is known as the celebrity madame in Hollywood. You can pause and read along if you'd like. But again, not much of this was anything new to us or really worth mentioning. I mean, depending on how much you know about the whole case, I suppose. But it wasn't until page 31 that we got more insight about the case. Jack Goldberger, Epstein's lawyer, admitted that they believed media coverage was distorted in favor of the victims. The defense team used public relations efforts to discredit the police investigation and shift blame onto law enforcement. Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder wrote to State Attorney Barry Krischer, urging him to disqualify himself from the case due to potential conflicts. Instead of filing direct charges against Epstein, Krischer sent the case to a grand jury, a move that made conviction far less likely. Goldberger admitted the decision was political and was done to appease the police chief while protecting Epstein. Epstein's defense team manipulated the grand jury process, ensuring that key witnesses were either discredited or prevented from testifying. Goldberger claimed that one victim was actually over 18, a common legal defense in these types of cases. Another victim failed to testify after being subpoenaed. The state attorney's office and grand jury both ruled there was not enough evidence, despite multiple victim testimonies. Epstein's lawyer attacked the credibility of the victims, stating they had histories of drug abuse and theft, and that they invented their stories for unknown reasons, which is a textbook victim-blaming strategy often used to invalidate survivors of abuse. This proves that Epstein's team deliberately worked to kill the case, the prosecution was compromised, and the state attorney protected Epstein instead of the victims. The grand jury was a smokescreen, ensuring Epstein wouldn't face the serious charges he deserved. Got an awful lot more redacted pages here with not too much information. A couple hints and clues here and there. Some more newspaper articles. Wasn't really until page 41 we got any more information out of this. Oh, 40 and 41. My apologies. But here, the document references 31E-MM-208062, a classified FBI case number. This implies that the FBI had an active investigation tied to the United States District Courthouse in West Palm Beach, which means there was federal-level involvement in Epstein's case long before his 2019 arrest. The document states, at this time, no further action will be taken by the New York office in this matter. The lead is covered. This means that the investigation was closed or buried. The phrase, lead is covered, is suspicious because it implies intentional suppression rather than case resolution. The FOIA codes on this page mean information withheld for law enforcement procedures or intelligence methods, withholding due to privacy concerns of involved individuals, exempted for law enforcement reasons, potential informants or classified intelligence, So the FBI had an open investigation into Epstein in 2006, but shut it down. There was enough evidence for a federal probe, yet it was halted. The case was buried using redactions, FOIA exemptions, and no further action statements. Next couple pages, there's not really much. And that pretty much covers part 1 of 22. Inventory and return for said search warrant shall be sealed when filed with the clerk of court until further order of the court. So this Laura Johnson, hereby sealed in 2005, October 2005. For part 2, we have similar cover sheets with a total of 46 pages deleted and their respective FOIA codes. Deleted pages, no duplication fee for this page. So this is case file 31E-MM-108062, which was titled Jeffrey Epstein and that. Don't really believe in that phrase because it's exploitation more than anything. It definitely makes you wonder what else they were trying to hide there. This case was reclassified and adjusted multiple times to account for quote-unquote additional subjects. The FBI had a full case file with evidence provided by Palm Beach Police. Federal agents from Miami, New York, and Newark were involved in the investigation. There were planned travel dates for agents to interview key witnesses between December 14th and 17th, 2006. Requests for travel clearance were sent to multiple FBI field offices to conduct the interviews. These largely redacted portions were hiding key details relating to witness testimonies, property receipts, which could include seized evidence, and internal agency communications. The FBI had attached and reviewed Palm Beach Police Department's full incident reports and evidence logs. This confirms the local and federal law enforcement were building a case against Epstein. The FBI had enough evidence to charge Epstein with traffic jams of the child variety in 2006, but buried it. Witnesses were set to testify, but the case was altered, delayed, and redacted. Massive amounts of investigative documents have been deleted. Once we get to page 10, between 10 and 20, the FBI had created I2 analyst notebook charts for Epstein's movements. They'd produced 16 data charts mapping Epstein's activity, travel, and connections. The I2 analyst notebook is an advanced intelligence tool used to track criminal organizations. This confirms that Epstein's movements were being actively mapped by federal intelligence agencies. Multiple references to executive FGI subpoenas appear in these documents. Grand jury subpoenas were issued and tied to federal investigations. Documents were transferred to the U.S. District Court and U.S. Attorney's Office. Numerous case files were permanently removed and transferred into sealed subcases. Files were given new case numbers, 31E-MM-108062-SBP, and moved to different federal offices. This means that key evidence was physically moved to make it harder to track. FBI Miami requested additional funds for expenses related to Epstein case. Field agents required financial approval for continued work. This suggests that Epstein's case went far beyond Palm Beach, that it was a full-scale federal operation. The FBI had extensive tracking data on Epstein's movements, associates, and activities. Key documents were deliberately removed, transferred, or hidden from public access. The grand jury subpoenas confirmed the existence of federal efforts to prosecute Epstein, but evidence was buried. Just a bit more paperwork relating to that. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just these different reports, expense reports that aren't really filled out. Just in case investigation. Here we go. Bit more. But then we hit another wall of deleted pages. 456 pages deleted from this section. All the FOIA codes. On and on. and right up to the end. So this seems to be deliberate evidence removal. The pattern repeats across multiple sections. Entire sequences of documents have been erased, which seems like clear proof of a systematic cover-up. This pattern continues in part 3 of 22. Total pages deleted, 232, with, again, more FOIA codes all the way down, as well as other sealed per court order. This means that a federal judge actively sealed the Epstein-related documents, likely to block public access to critical evidence and witness statements. Same idea here. Not really much to see. Awful lot of redactions. A lot of the same information. Some more newspaper clippings. Honestly, is a lot of the same stuff up until about page 45. But I will skim along for you here, so if you did want to stop and read and take it in, you may do so. More approval requests. Just the regular paperwork here. Miami requests travel concurrence from FBI New York to conduct witness interviews, serve target letters on subjects. Still not really too much. Subpoenas. Notice of hearing. Just more of these newspaper clippings, which if you wanted to go back and pause and check them out, you can do so. But again, it's not really too much anything new that wasn't already available to the public. We're mostly just trying to get to the information that has just been declassified. Just a little more information about the enterprise of it all. But yeah, making our way to page 46 here. This talks about that there was at least 4 civil lawsuits alongside criminal charges. There are at least 4 federal civil lawsuits that were filed against Epstein. Additional lawsuits were pending in state courts. Victims' attorneys confirmed that they were adding more plaintiffs as survivors came forward. The state attorney's office refused to directly charge Epstein, although Palm Beach police found probable cause to charge Epstein with unlawful activities with a minor, lewd and lascivious behavior. Instead of filing charges, the state attorney sent the case to a grand jury. Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder called this highly unusual and demanded a federal investigation. Epstein's influence extended to law enforcement and politics. He had donated $90,000 to Palm Beach police for equipment, but they apparently returned it after his indictment. He'd also donated $30 million to Harvard in 2003. Former New York Governor Eliot Spitzer returned a $50,000 campaign donation from Epstein. but again only after his indictment. Epstein hired Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz to discredit the victims and attack the Palm Beach Police Department. His PR team worked to shift public perception by portraying the case as flawed. This showed that Epstein's financial power influenced law enforcement and political figures. He was protected through legal loopholes, political donations, and media manipulation. The grand jury strategy was a legal shield, allowing prosecutors to avoid filing direct charges. As we make our way down, just a few more newspaper articles. Again, not really anything we don't know already, but if you want to slow down and read, you may do so. It's not until page 56, because these are just informational pamphlets for victim services. So yeah, it's not till here that we get some more information. This is showing that the U.S. government signed a non-persecution agreement with Epstein. The FBI was instructed to hand-deliver letters to victims, informing them of the MPA deal that Epstein received. Victims were not involved in the decision-making process. They were only notified after the fact. This aligns with previously leaked reports that Epstein's plea deal was arranged behind closed doors with federal prosecutors. FBI agents were ordered to handle victim communications discreetly. The FBI's Miami office handled victim notifications. The document references FBI agents coordinating with U.S. attorneys. This means the Justice Department was directly involved in structuring Epstein's plea deal. However, Epstein was incarcerated at the Palm Beach County Stockade. This document confirms that Epstein was given an 18-month sentence, which aligns with his widely criticized plea deal, which allowed him work release privileges and minimal restrictions. The U.S. government knowingly signed a secret deal protecting Epstein from federal prosecution. The FBI was ordered to discreetly notify victims after the agreement was finalized. The Justice Department played a direct role in securing Epstein's lenient sentence. On this page, it says that he will also be a lifetime registered offender. More deleted pages, 146 deleted pages. With, again, all the relating FOIA codes. Just more paperwork. Not too much here, just agency codes, paperwork, lab. Oh, arrest documents. Okay, not really anything there. More newspaper clippings. But by page 66, in this article, it states that there were at least 12 civil lawsuits filed against Epstein by victims. His legal team blocked evidence requests, citing the Fifth Amendment. Victims' attorneys had to fight to get basic evidence from Epstein. It mentions this one Jane Doe lawsuit by Jane Doe number 101 that was filed in federal court. The victim was 17 at the time and was lured to Epstein's Palm Beach mansion. The pattern matches other cases. Victims were targeted based on vulnerability, lured in by other young women, and then abused. Epstein refused to hand over evidence. Victims' lawyers requested phone records, pictures, and videos. Epstein refused to turn over evidence, citing the Fifth Amendment. Attorney Adam Horowitz said Epstein was stonewalling and delaying the legal process. Judge had to order Epstein to produce the evidence. U.S. District Judge Kenneth Murrah was asked to intervene to force Epstein to turn over records. This means the legal system was already fighting Epstein's attempts to bury evidence. It was confirmed that he was sentenced to 18 months in jail in July of 2008, and he was due for release in September of 2009, meaning he served a fraction of the time for his crimes. Epstein actively suppressed evidence that could further expose his trafficking network. The legal system had to fight just to get basic phone records, photos, and videos. And he manipulated the system to secure a lenient sentence while lawsuits piled up. Some more articles. Again, if you want to pause to read, you may do so, but It's not really until page 76 that there's more interesting information that pops up. I mean, it's all interesting, and if you're not familiar with the whole case, you may want to stop and read more, but we're just kind of going through the highlights. There is a lot to get through. I mean, it might be good to get a refresher on some of these details, and it ties with the various industries. The relationship with Epstein and the MC2 modeling agency, led by Jean-Luc Brunel. It's alleged that they deliberately engaged in a pattern of racketeering that involved luring minor children through MC2, mostly girls under the age of 17, to engage in adult acts for money. Just a bit more information about that. More articles about it. Same idea. Very lurid and detailed. And we don't really need to go into details. We know what's going on here. But if you want details, there's I guess I should here, we'll go back up. Make it a little bigger so you guys can read this. Oh, it's probably fine there. Okay. Slow down a bit. Sorry. But yeah, you can pause to read at your leisure. But yeah, it's not until page 76 that there's really any new information. This article talks about Epstein's high-profile network, including Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Ehud Barak, and Larry Summers. It talks about how the state attorney and U.S. Department of Justice minimized the case, how the FBI had identified victims reaching back to 2001, yet no federal charges were ever filed. From this article, we can determine that some of the high-profile network and private jet passengers, there's a list here. It describes Epstein's high-profile network, Bill Clinton being a former U.S. president, Prince Andrew being British royal family, Ehud Barak being former Israeli prime minister, Bill Richardson, former New Mexico governor, Larry Summers, the former U.S. Treasury secretary. These were all listed as frequent passengers on Epstein's private jets, which confirms direct ties between Epstein and multiple world leaders. Palm Beach Police Chief confirms that Epstein got special treatment. Police Chief Michael Ryder testified that the state attorney's office minimized the case against Epstein. The U.S. Department of Justice bargained the charges down. Social and legal pressure was so intense that Ryder lost colleagues over the case, which confirms that the government agencies deliberately shielded Epstein. All in all, the FBI identified 40-plus victims, but no federal charges were filed. Palm Beach police identified 17 underage victims in Florida alone. Despite these various allegations, Epstein's case was kept at the state level instead of triggering federal trafficking charges. Epstein's teenage recruiter, Haley Robson, admitted on tape that she was like a Heidi Fleiss, as mentioned before. Victims were brought to Epstein's mansion multiple times a day. House manager Alfredo Rodriguez was ordered to always keep $2,000 cash on hand for victim payments. So what this proves is that Epstein's power network extended to global elites, including political figures, finance leaders, and intelligence-linked individuals. Law enforcement and the Department of Justice deliberately downgraded charges despite overwhelming evidence. The FBI knew about Epstein's trafficking operation as far back as 2001, but failed to act. Federal charges were suppressed to prevent deeper exposure. As we work our way back down here. Okay, matching printer, ink. Not too much here. At this point, Prince Andrew has been implicated, which suggested that Epstein's legal team protected powerful figures, including British royalty. At least 17 civil cases were secretly settled out of court. A key Epstein victim accused him of providing young girls to his adult male peers, including royalty. Prince Andrew, Duke of York, was directly named in a civil suit. Victim identifying as Jane Doe 102, or also known as Virginia. I'm gonna just set it up here anyways. Yeah. Yep. Virginia Roberts, or Goofrey. Her duties included being exploited by Epstein's adult male peers, including royalty. This explicitly implicates Prince Andrew in Epstein's trafficking operation. Epstein's legal strategy was designed to shield high-profile figures. He avoided a trafficking trial through secretive legal maneuvering. His quote-unquote dream team of influential lawyers deterred prosecutors from bringing more serious charges. And the plea deal was structured to ensure his powerful associates were never brought into court. The secret civil settlements prevented further exposure. 17 civil cases were settled out of court to keep victims from testifying publicly. These quiet payoffs ensured that damaging details never reached trial. One of the victims was meant to testify against Epstein. A 15-year-old girl was set to be a key witness in a federal trafficking trial. Instead of testifying, her case was quietly settled behind closed doors. The justice system was clearly manipulated to ensure that Epstein's powerful associates remained untouched. As we continue on, more of the story here. Again, if you'd like to go ahead and read along, it's totally up to you. But we're going to work our way down to page 96. She was taking medications to numb her from what she was being forced to do. Kind of talks about how they were able to groom her. But on page 96, Epstein and his associates' actions says that, quote unquote, we are above the law, but that Jeffrey is a monster. It also lists some of the people and places mentioned, which suggests a global network of high-profile figures, including Woody Allen, Bill Clinton, Naomi Campbell, Al Gore, Sarah Ferguson, Robert Maxwell, Donald Trump, and Heidi Klum. All had links to Epstein. The FBI was directly mentioned in the article, indicating active U.S. law enforcement knowledge of these connections. Virginia calls out the system for protecting Epstein's network. Her statement, quote, I am appalled. To me it's saying, we are above the law. But Jeffrey is a monster, unquote. The locations listed align with Epstein's known properties, financial operations, and trafficking routes. And the FBI was tracking these elite connections. Despite this, none of these high-profile individuals faced any known criminal investigations tied to Epstein's case. Epstein's network included heads of state, Hollywood elites, and high-ranking politicians. The FBI was aware of these associations, but never acted against them. Virginia publicly stated the elite protection was systemic and intentional. The same names keep appearing across multiple Epstein-related records, yet none were formally charged. That's the rest of the article here, if you guys are interested. It's just like the links at the bottom. Nothing important here. Article, if you want to read it. And that seems like it's about it. Another 90 pages removed from the bottom here. So let's move on to part 4. Total deleted pages, 318. With the FOIA codes. Some are just duplicate pages, I guess. More FOIA codes. Going all the way down here. Okay, sort of some more information, but most of it's blocked out here. Alright, from page 11, you can see that a federal grand jury was convened as part of the Epstein's case. Interview notes from key witnesses were classified as grand jury material. Certain evidence was not to be disseminated outside of legal proceedings. It's like MySpace identities, user IDs. Which means that crucial witness testimony was sealed and never made fully public. These FOIA codes, the B6 and B7C exemption codes indicate personal privacy exemption and law enforcement privacy exemption, which shields key individuals and case details. Perhaps it was the acting undercover on MySpace to infiltrate. The FBI's field office was responsible for handling and securing this material. This confirms that federal law enforcement had extensive classified records on Epstein's operations. It also confirms that a grand jury was involved in Epstein's case, but key evidence was classified and withheld from public view. Critical witness interviews exist, but their details were redacted and sealed. The FBI had direct control over Epstein's case material and restricted its dissemination. Right here, page 21. The FBI issued a legal request to Sprint for phone records related to Epstein's case. This request was made in February 2007, 2 years before Epstein's non-prosecution deal was finalized. The request was handled by Sprint's corporate security and legal compliance team, which means the FBI was tracking Epstein's communications in 2007. The document is a fax request to Sprint's corporate security division. The FBI sought phone records related to Epstein's case. The fax was sent to Sprint's legal compliance team, indicating an official legal demand for telecom data. Multiple pages were included in this request. This suggests a detailed request for call logs, text records, and other communication data. The following pages that are redacted may have contained key connections between Epstein and his associates. This proves that the FBI was tracking Epstein's communications before his plea deal, confirming federal involvement in his case. Phone records could expose key connections between Epstein and his elite network. Despite an active federal investigation, Epstein still walked away with a lenient deal. Okay, call search, records, shows nothing. Page 31 is a FBI subpoena Bell South for telecom records related to Epstein's case. Request was linked to federal case number 31E-MM-108062. Bell South responded stating no tolls were found, meaning Epstein's call records may have been erased or hidden. This would have referred to call logs, billing data, and network usage, which suggests that federal agents were trying to trace Epstein's calls across multiple telecom providers. Same idea here. Don't really see much. Horizon. More of the forums. I guess for this, more removals. 200 pages deleted. That's super helpful for us. Or the subpoena. Okay, anyways, going back up on page 41, it indicated that a CD-ROM was enclosed. CD disk enclosed for incoming and outgoing calls. So there was a physical copy of Epstein's telecom data that was provided to investigators. This confirms that federal authorities were already collecting evidence before any public charges were filed. This timeline contradicts claims that Epstein's case only became a federal concern after public pressure. It also states that the time reflected on any call detail or bill copy is reflective of the switch that processed the call, which may not be the same as the clock time at the cell site where the call was initiated, which suggests that the actual timestamps could have been altered or obscured based on telecom routing. Federal authorities had Epstein's call records and subscriber data stored physically before his arrest, so there was an active effort to track financial and telecom transactions tied to Epstein's operations. The FOIA exemptions B6 and B7C confirm that certain data remains classified and hidden from public access. And yeah, the remaining pages are kind of useless. The rest has been deleted. We're seeing the same pattern of missing pages whenever certain data is involved. Critical sections related to Epstein's financial network and digital communications have been erased. And this is not random. This is systemic suppression of key evidence. For part 5, we have another 525 pages deleted. And the codes. And that was it for part 5. Part 6, 491 pages deleted. There's probably not going to be much here either. And that's pretty much it. All of it deleted. Except for... Okay, we got some files here. So here we have multiple pages of financial data that have been deleted. The FOIA exemptions B6, B7C, and B7D were used to justify these redactions. These deleted records likely contain details of Epstein's offshore accounts and laundering operations. FOIA Code B6 is personal privacy exemption, used to protect individuals linked to Epstein's finances. B7C is law enforcement privacy exemption, protecting investigative subjects. B7D is confidential law enforcement sources, suggesting informants or intelligence assets were involved. These redactions indicate that Epstein's financial records contained high-risk information. The no duplication fee suggests certain pages were deemed too sensitive for public release. This aligns with past cases where financial records tied to elite networks were restricted. The financial records linked to Epstein's network were systematically erased before release. The FOIA exemptions suggested involvement of protected individuals, intelligence sources, or informants. These deleted records likely contained offshore banking data and money laundering routes. As we continue, the general forfeiture matters. Not much to see here until we get to page 21. This page shows that Epstein cooperated with the FBI and provided information. As long as he upheld his deal with the state of Florida, the U.S. government agreed not to prosecute him federally. The FBI shut down forfeiture proceedings, meaning Epstein's assets were not seized. No federal prosecution will occur in this matter as long as Epstein continues to uphold his agreement with the state of Florida, which confirms that Epstein was shielded at the highest levels despite overwhelming evidence of trafficking. He then became an informant. Epstein has also provided information to the FBI as agreed upon. The nature of this information remains classified. Title of this case file, General Forfeiture Matters, Jeffrey Epstein. No further forfeiture assistance will be required for this case, which means the government deliberately chose not to seize Epstein's assets. The file states, case agent is requested to contact writer in the event this matter moves forward on a federal level, which indicates that Epstein's protection was conditional on his continued cooperation. So Epstein had a deal with the FBI that protected him from federal prosecution. The U.S. government allowed him to keep his assets despite known financial crimes, and his cooperation likely involved providing intelligence on other individuals, but the details are hidden. Moving on to Part 7, we have 321 deleted pages, and here's all the codes. Another 199 pages deleted. And that's Part 8, 434 deleted pages. And then just blank pages. And then another 133 empty page. Part 9, 574 deleted pages. And their codes. And that's it. Part 10, another 547 pages deleted. I think that's probably it in this packet as well. Awful lot of nothing. Number 11, 210 missing pages. And I think that's probably it for that as well. We're making a lot of progress. Okay, onward to Part 12. 348 pages deleted. This is out of 167 pages, so hopefully there's more here to sink our teeth into. Victim witness work files. Okay. MySpace files. Oh, MySpace. Palm Beach Police had non-emergency and tips line listed on Epstein's case file, which means local authorities were actively receiving information related to Epstein's operations. Despite this, Epstein managed to evade serious prosecution. Law enforcement might have been involved on multiple levels. You can see there's MySpace, more MySpace pages and photos, but that are blocked out here. This could suggest that the local police department may have played a more significant role than publicly admitted. So at this point, we would need to determine whether Palm Beach Police Department was working against Epstein or being pressured to stand down. The local police in Palm Beach were tracking Epstein, but their full involvement remains unclear. Despite FBI and intelligence redactions, some law enforcement records survived in Part 12, so we may be able to track down additional police reports using the reference number 03956-5731. These past files and going forward here shows that myspace.com was actively being monitored in relation to the Epstein case. Specific photos and profile pages were referenced in the investigation. These files could have involved victims, recruiters, or Epstein himself. This also suggests that Epstein's network was being tracked via social media before mainstream media coverage. Law enforcement may have been monitoring MySpace profiles linked to victims or recruiters. Palm Beach PD was actively compiling records, but their full reports remain hidden. There's nothing to see here. So yeah, whether this was victims, recruiters, or just people within Epstein's sphere. There's obviously a lot of data, digital data that had been collected. Dozens and dozens of pages. It's kind of neat to see old MySpace, I guess, even though it's kind of dejanked and all covered up. Still kind of takes me back a little bit, but still not much to see here. So by this point, there was at least 3 Palm Beach PD reports linked to digital surveillance. These reports are currently missing or classified, preventing full transparency. But all in all, it looks like the MySpace profiles tied to the Epstein's operation were erased or suppressed. We got a strip club list. Biographical file. From this we have again all blocked out. Nothing to see here. So not only were they tracking the MySpace profiles, but they were tracking specific locations. We continue on to page 81. Carrying on to page 91. But obviously the digital surveillance of Epstein's network continued. But the extent of police action remains unclear, so we don't know if they were involved in some way, if they were undercover, if they had profiles that they were acting as minors and trying to gain access or infiltrate in such a way. Going down the line, there's really not too much more to see here. Pretty much everything redacted. Can't even tell what these different files are. But timestamps on these documents show like summer of 2006. Long before anything was going on, any arrest. So they obviously were building a case. Almost a dozen different main police file records. that are missing. Okay, yeah, let's move on here, I think. Double check. I think that was it for this part. I'll be moving on to part 13. Yeah, nothing to see here. Okay, part 13, 199 pages deleted. And out of 11 pages, probably isn't much here. Probably isn't anything here. Part 14, we got 326 pages deleted, but out of 181 pages here remain. So let's have a look, see. Alright, when we get to okay, page 11. We got something right there. Epstein math teacher. Just for. Oh, yeah, he was a teacher before he got into finance, so that's interesting. And then Dalton School in New York, if you look it up, and then like allegations, there's a bunch of different teachers that have been accused at that school. So that's a whole rabbit hole for another day, though, I think. Okay, number 11, page 11. It's a city search catalog. Business links via city search and yellow pages. Yes, they were using these websites. They didn't really have Google Maps back then, but they were using these online business directories to track Epstein-related locations and get further information. Still not really much to see here. Carry on, page 21. Still there's nothing here. What else we got here? Let me check these notes. Yeah, there's just not really anything here, though. Something's supposed to be on page 31. Let's see. Not really, though. There's more of these numbers that we could cross-reference. It's not really giving us much. But we continue on at 41. And they're looking at more of the MySpace documents, the current, but that they're private. They're not really able to see anything. There's some little notes here. So really can't tell what they were up to with their investigation here. MySpace current account. So who knows, yeah, if they were doing undercover and had accounts that they were using, or the ones that they were currently tracking. Whole lot of nothing. A lot of this was provided as grand jury materials and was not intended to be disseminated. I'm still showing the Palm Beach Police Department is involved with their tip line numbers. Still not much going on here. Hundreds of pages of nothing. Thanks. Thanks, guys. You really did us a solid waiting all that fucking time to give us hundreds of blank pages. Fucking great. Here's that. Flagler Beach again. Maybe they're checking the proximity of certain locations from that address, start to end. Some cryptic notes here that we can't really figure out. That's another FBI case file reference. I guess they'd forwarded this information to them. Just check the notes here. I think that's pretty much everything. It just shows there was an active investigation back in 2006. And again, the arrest was not due to public pressure by any means. This was obviously something they'd been following for a long time. Tracking all these MySpace pages full of nothing. Obviously there's something, but we don't get to see it. It could have been interactions, could have been literally anything. Showing, viewing the pages, the friend pages. So it could have been certain comments, posts. Worked kind of similarly to Facebook. So you can kind of imagine what some of this would be on the main pages. Not really enough to go on though. That's pretty much it for this. Getting close to the last page here. Yeah, that's about it. There's some pictures here that maybe was corroborating evidence for some of the victims. I don't know. But moving on to part 15. Okay, we got 511 pages deleted and only 17 pages in this packet, so I'm guessing there's not going to be anything here. It's just full of the codes. Oh, maybe. Administrative subpoena. Singular. Administrative subpoena from Singular. National Compliance Center. Okay, so this is subpoena records from AT&T and Sprint. Singular Wireless. So I guess he had like a bunch of different phones or phone lines and with different companies, which I guess if you're trying to be inconspicuous, it's the smart way to go. Some of them could have been like burner phones. So you used to be able to just go in and buy a phone, spend the $30 and have a phone and a pay-as-you-go number. Nowadays, I guess they've got all kinds of apps and things for that, but used to be you'd have to buy a whole new phone. How times have changed. But they were reaching back to years before, trying to collect certain data. Also should take note of the overall file number, the FBI file number. You may be able to cross-reference that. It seems like this 31E MM 108062 was central to the Epstein's federal investigation, but they'd officially sealed everything with the FOIA exemptions, and that was it for that. So moving on to part 16 of 22, 515 pages deleted out of 14 pages, so that's probably all there is there. Maybe not. Smart telephone subpoenas. There's like dash numbers here to take note of though within that main case file number. Subpoena results. Yeah, whole lot of nothing. Moving on to part 17, which has 367 pages deleted, but there's 215 pages overall, so there should be a little more to dig into here. Different reference numbers here to keep track of. Account not found. That was MySpace account not found. So perhaps one of the ones that they'd been tracking had been deleted. Let me check these notes here. What we're looking for, so we don't have to be going through all this blind. Hold on. Okay, so we have new report IDs. No MySpace account found. Law enforcement were tracking Epstein's digital presence, which indicates that a MySpace or similar account tied to Epstein was erased before police could investigate. And all kinds of nothing. Darker skin, looked foreign. Why would she bring you there? Where? I don't know. Haven't talked to them since. Okay, and a whole lot of nothing, so who knows what the heck's going on there. More MapQuest directions. Okay, this form FD340 is FBI form used to log evidence under grand jury proceedings. A whole lot of nothing. Yeah, not much of anything there. More grand jury evidence. MySpace information, old account. This is in your extended network. So, guessing they were going undercover and trying to infiltrate in such a way. Still not really giving us much here. I guess these are just different notes they picked up with different contact information. Still not really much of anything. What are these accounts that they've been tracking? I guess these ones that were deleted or couldn't be found after are probably the ones that had the most crucial information. So, but by the time they came back to screenshot and log everything, it was already gone. So they must have known the FBI was looking into them, or there was some kind of tip-off, or their undercovers weren't so good at hiding that they were police. Might have been easily detected that there was something fishy there, so they just blocked them. Continuing on here, it's all a lot of the same junk. Like, they definitely picked through and just shared the least relevant stuff with us that we could do anything with. They hyped up releasing these files for how long? Alright, this seems to be like keeping track of some of the interactions. Might have been like a journal or something. Blank went upstairs. Blank stayed downstairs. Blank introduced herself. Jeffrey came down in robe, introduced himself. I guess these could be police notes. What each of the girls were paid. Told blank blank blank. Okay, so I guess that's something. But really, they're not giving us anything to work with here. Which I guess, you know, if they're still investigating, and I mean there has been a ton of human traffic jam busts in the last few weeks. I guess in the past year even, if you wanted to include the Diddy stuff. There's been an awful lot coming to light, and so maybe that's why it's taken so long to let information come out about the Epstein case, because maybe a lot of it they were using as leads to other people and other hubs, the distributors, like where they were acquiring acquiring minors and teens from. Trying to shut that shit down altogether. I would hope, anyways, but who really knows exactly? There's also the national security, and they had made a deal, so sealing everything was probably part of the deal. And looking no further, possibly. I'm just going to check these notes here quick. I think that was pretty much everything in this. But a lot of stuff on MySpace was public, so I mean they could have been tracking a lot to do with interactions between recruiters and victims, and just if they had been able to get into the sphere of either Ghislaine or whoever, then I'm sure they were getting some more insight as they went. Not that we're getting any here, but it's just showing different connections, different pictures. Can't see nothing though, so doesn't really help us none. But hey, at least like this is a start, you know, so guess I better not complain too much. We wanted them to release the files. And it just happens that this is what we get. This is a lot of what we get. That is what it is, but apparently they're supposed to be releasing more as time goes on. Friend blank, do you want to make $200? Go to the million or a billion? Saturday. New models. That was the reason he was going to blank blank. Times. 2 separate times each. Something told. They went on it. Went to go back. Won't do it again. Without a week or two, blank called. Or within a week or two. Had. I can't read this. The doctor must have wrote this. Or something with phone numbers. Definitely just looks like notes, though, that were kept on. Proud advocate about. He provided advice about what to eat, salad, not, I don't know, drink lots of water, exercise. Okay, I guess that's good, but 200, she paid 200, never, I don't know that. He asked her to blank, he would want me to blank, didn't like blank. I guess, is this like maybe one of the girls' notes, journals, something like that? Kept track of things. Leave your couch for the blue, green couch, orange book, Piper, need, oh, I don't know. I can't even. It's not even like it's cursive. Like, if it was just cursive, I could read it fine, but it's like some other, it's right, doctor writing. Criminal, female, white female, specific information. Huh. Doesn't really give us much. Maybe this was starting to build their case on Ghislaine, though. Or this main file number here. MySpace information. And we're getting close to the end here. It's not too much. I guess some of those notes gave us a little bit, but a lot of this has all been sealed because it was going to the grand jury. It was all the FBI, main FBI case file, not even just the Palm Beach police. It was all kind of put in together and then sealed, I guess. Birth, criminal, death, marriage. Maybe it's just the information they've collected on him. This person is dead. White female. So no other information though. Complete checks. Thanks so much. I guess that's to pull information. If they have any of that information on file. Still doesn't really tell us much though. Okay, moving on to part 18. This one's got 283 pages deleted, but out of 238 pages altogether, so should be some stuff here. A lot of the same, probably though, by the looks of it. Holiday break, purchase ticket, tickets to blank, picked her up. Or maybe this is police notes of what these women were telling them. I don't know. Somebody get this guy a typewriter though, because what the fuck? I guess you could do it on the phone now or record it or whatever. I don't know. Bottle of champagne, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Innerwear. At schools, new blank about it. Thanks at would help at school. Like if you guys can figure this out, recognize any words that maybe I'm just my brain's going a little mushy going through all this today, and then try to put it together for you guys now. So maybe you guys could see something I can't. I don't know. Limo, bathroom in residence later, office limo. Okay. Mom has blank for dinner, blank limo. We're home to blank. J.E. blank, something, something. Uncomfortable. Left blank. Don't worry about school. They get that meant he could pay. Would pay. Talk to blank. No blank. Number from. Get to know you better. Finalize plans for summer. Bought ticket. They paid for it. Someone picked her up and she did not know. Friday to Saturday. Little drive. Some discussion about where she was going to be staying. J.E. said she will be staying with us. Okay, so maybe this is Ghislaine. This is Ghislaine being questioned, maybe. Blank equals J.E. / blank thought J.E. blank. Bought popcorn and cokes, seeing them again, driving during the trip, etc. Did not want to mess up things for herself and or blank blank blank. Pictures before Christmas. Months prior to flying to NM, like New Mexico maybe? Blank blank blank. She called once. $4,000. Few $100. Okay. Gave blank blank. Alright. Well, at least it's telling us a little more than what we've been getting here. Some dates and times, maybe a phone number. Or maybe these are just notes picked up like from one of the offices or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. But Traction Nude 1992. Privileges by Stable. Had over for lunch. Purchased tickets. Introduced blank and blank. Worked for blank. He called for interview. Jay asked blank to his office across the street from limited blank. Jay said blank is a real blank. I could offer as much, but I don't know. Somebody was drinking when they were writing this or something. Like, I just don't know. Not going to do that much of time trying to blank and J.E. blank. Then it was blank and not paying on time, not getting what J.E. want, so blank was going to quit. Uncomfortable, people not getting paid, and hold work hostage, only blank. J.E. commented, blank, door, women,
residence doorwoman. She thought JE was home, but turned out to blank. Office and residence. Getting three messages a day. Blank would be girls in something. Ask chef. One day, come over to blank blank blank. Blank aside and told her to tell the girl they were good to blank 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 her. They want me to blank. Blank coming blank year blank you. Bring her up blank said G wants to meet. Asked get very derbadir. I don't know. She had a surprise, got blank, and after they went to one to her house. Wow, you're really beautiful. Fuck is all this? We would what help you and find that. Would you like to do a blank? Blank. She is blank. You really shouldn't tell her. Blank expected and next day blank surprise JE blank. JE sat next to blank, didn't tell blank, just a visit. So somebody was taking notes of like all this, I guess, as they went though. I don't know. This is like, so somebody was an informant the whole time or infiltrating the whole time and this was their notes maybe. To get pressuring to get a message. JE, my friend said she would give you a message. Oh, massage at her residence. How comfortable? I don't even know. 22 to 23 messages. JE, very well. Very vulnerable moments of nude. Alright. Study blank blank and I will pay for blank. Purchase a ticket to blank. Take blank blank blank. Greatest notch. To do. I don't know. If you guys can make any of this, let me know. I'm just taking a wild guess, obviously. JE had blank and blank blank. Everything is there. I blank. I really wish you would have blank. Nude blank blank. Catching them and put them in a shoebox. Only ones blank. Went to work and looking through shoebox. Spent 2 days looking further, living in blank. JE blank. Called JE Epstein's assistant. I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy. I want to quit. So, I don't know. Blank accused JE blank. I have the inventory. Asked of blank a young girl to blank. Rumor is that JE is gay. Be careful what you say on the plane. Listen. Call me if blank. Jay, where in the hell are there? Blank. Jay put on triple. I don't know. A couple weeks later, more called. It said in JE briefcase. He blank and blank blank back. I don't know. And waiting. 2 months later, upset. Sent blank out to blank to help. Oh man, this is horrible. Oh, maybe I'll zoom in a tiny bit more here. Asked if could come stay with over summer. Don't don't the way something happened to them. Don't want, I don't know. To them there for about a month and carry on weekends and help with blank. Blank to come, not allowed to come outside, blank paranoid. Um, I don't know, came to visit, blank blank, can be very, if you doubt the G, she covers and says he doesn't know anything by it, doesn't mean anything by it. Second visit, totally inappropriate. I don't know. Licked our feet at night, butthole. Blank in there. Wearing boxers, came in wearing boxers to your room at blank and blank is blank. Don't be silly. Something had sensual in guy to give a foot rub. I'm okay. I about am hour. Oh my guy. Okay, to I don't know. I'm watching blank while I'm going to bed. Got blank locked door. Blank stayed in the room. J called. I hope you're not upset. Are you? I don't know. Blank thinks you're upset because you could. Blank tell blank she can go to hell. Called blank and got came to gate. I don't know. Wouldn't let in. I'm not leaving. Walked up to truck. Went going to. Said I don't know. Blank blank blank. He was my patron. After left, called the blank. Angered. Took my blank. Trespassing. Not allowed to come back. He called blank. Will blank. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so let's continue trying to decipher here. Blank came to blank. CJE can't bring blank here because that would be JE blank prior to blank JE blank. People came and met young women. Okay, blank blank blank. Um, no idea. Seemed to be coming and disappoint. Call better not say a word. Blank, they were very careful. Blank, parent, payment, gift payment. One's shop spree. Insisted go home, see family. I don't know. If you're going to keep, you have to, I don't know. Again, if you guys have any freaking clue here, let me know. Some other like times and days. Appointments, I guess. Leave no earlier than 11. In by 5. Okay. Biographical file from blank. So I wonder if these are all victims, these ones that say biographical file. To be added to the main FBI file on the grand jury filings. For criminal background, white female. I don't know why they wouldn't put any more information. They got her social security number, but no other information. That's weird. More directions. I guess, I don't know, to corroborate or something. And MySpace information. Okay. Here we go with the MySpace. MySpace profile stuff. Goes on for pages and tells us nothing. Okay. Oh, these quizzes you could take. Oh, yeah, good times. Oh, way back when. Oh, we actually wanted to get to know each other and it wasn't all just by picture. I guess now we have Instagram and stuff and nobody really cares. Types of minor, conspiracy to enticement, attempted travel, attempted enticements, and guess that's just information for the file. What's in the file? Phone calls with blank, 2 calls maybe. Met with one guy, he was testifying at the same time. So maybe this is a victim's notes. I don't really know. No practice, no review of statement. Didn't hear prior to taping. Either that or it's the cop notes, which, fuck, why do they gotta be so messy? I mean, if it's a victim or somebody that was like infiltrating, then they had to be kind of quick about it, making quick notes. But why wouldn't they give them like a recording device or something? Like, I don't know. This is weird, but it's fine. It was 2006, I guess. Didn't have that yet, but we did. So I don't know. It's whatever. It's fine. Lady making me nervous. I don't hang out with him. Just say hi and stuff. Don't even talk about. Used to hate me for it. No rudeness between us. Cell phone. Blank on phone. Short. Got mad at blank. And they fought. They went to bathroom, argued. More casual clothes like going to mall. Asked for gas money. Trying to look nice. He told her poor cab driver guy get into something and become rich. Feeling blank and pretty that blank a lot unidentified left. I don't know, but that took a lot. I don't know. I I think looked after, I don't know, about me, what I like, what I don't know, something kids. What's the matter? You can say no. JE, will you do this? You can say no. Trash pull blank on Saturday at 10:30. Very, I don't know. Okay, subpoena cover sheet for the grand jury stuff. Subpoena compliance, state attorney. Official investigation, suspected felony being conducted by Detective Blank. Okay. Detective of the town of Palm Beach Police Department agree that my information obtained by virtue of the state attorney's subpoena attached is confidential and will not be released to anyone outside of law enforcement. Okay, so those are probably detective's notes then, I guess. Dissemination of the information of other law enforcement personnel entails obstruction of justice. Yeah. Okay. More subpoenas for subscriber billing information. For more telecom info. Facts cover sheet. Official investigation of suspected felony being conducted by detective. It's requested that your company furnish blah blah blah. Blah 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 blue. Palm Beach criminal state subpoena. Okay, so I guess it's like getting the warrant. Business record certification. Okay. I guess that's a business number, phone number. So it was whatever files they had from when he signed up. My husband has misplaced the information packet that we had to fill out regarding our mailbox. Gonna ahead and fax you a copy of the receipt for the new mailbox. The special agent tell you that I called and spoke to him during the time that you were out of the office regarding a car that was sitting in the park watching my house. Okay. Um, okay, some receipts. Some more MySpace stuff. Awesome. Looks like the same, or unless a few of them took the same survey, but it kind of looks like the same. Duplicate filings. Okay, we're halfway through here. Still not really much of anything. Some of those notes, though, kind of said some stuff, but from what we could decipher, anyways. But it was, yeah, that's tough. That was tough. At least it was something more than this, though. This is just scrolling through dozens of pages of nothing. Old unfinished accounts? Okay, so maybe they had accounts that they were. These were accounts that they were infiltrating with, setting up. Who knows? Or had not finished going through yet. Oh, more notes. Here we go. Lucky me. How old are you? 18. I know you're not 16. Once she got to here, told she would 300 ounce. 300 ounces of what? If it's just weed or something, like, a few kilos. Like, more than that, because a kilo is what, 16 ounces? That's a lot of whatever the fuck that they're looking for. So something like cocaine, that'd be even more serious. That's quite a bit, a lot. So what the fuck? So is he having them be mules for him too, or what? First visit, asked for cell phone. Most likely first time. Had to do the... I don't know. J.E. asked for a phone number. She left. Called later. They blank blank. Friday. Blank. I'm in bathroom. Notepad at Jeffrey on the bottom. Okay. Are say to, but in or respect, but out of respect, always at up welcome. FBI JFK. Would call, ask about, I don't know, spending money for trip before and JE birthdays, blank, sex blank, and blank. This is his birthday, 300 ounces, I guess. That's a party. Jesus friggin' Christ. When they would leave, sometimes they would I don't know. When they were coming back, prearranged when they were coming back, asked, but they would still call before they arrived, and she responded sometimes. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Some of this, I just don't fucking know. I could try, but I don't fucking know. But maybe this was part of why MySpace fell apart and Facebook was created. Because what was it, like 2009? Facebook became a thing. So maybe they found that MySpace was too unregulated and there was a lot of illegal things happening on MySpace, and then it kind of was going down, and Facebook took the opportunity to slide right in. Or maybe the guy Tom didn't want to cooperate with this kind of stuff, didn't want to be part of it. So those quizzes, those are fun. Back in the day, it was so good. You just got all the information you needed. It was perfect. Zodiac sign and everything. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like the timing of it is kind of peculiar when you think about it. And maybe if there was other reasons too, but the timing for this anyways, it just seems like it was right at the end of MySpace, but then Facebook was starting. Or maybe Facebook, like MySpace, was giving up too much information, so they needed another platform. And then that's why Facebook was created. I don't know, because it was pretty like exclusive to start. Like you had to have a .edu or whatever type email or something to start. I don't know. I don't know. Just speculating. Rich guy, a lot of blank, hangout, fun during school year. Blank to taxied Epstein, girl called blank around, showed them around house, took them upstairs, sitting on couch, Epstein talking to her, took a shower, just went for a run. Okay. It's still not really anything useful. That's the end. Okay. All right. Is that 18? Okay, moving over to 19. Okay, we're getting close. There's like three more after this. All right. So this is 475 total deleted pages out of 75, so there should be something here. Let me see. Photo array. 3/18/2011. Okay, so this is coming into the present now, I guess. Because before it was like 2016 or whatever. What is this? Yeah, St. Patrick's Day. Alright. 20 photographs received from blank and for blank. State Department. Yeah, I guess this is coming into after everything happened and while they were still investigating, I guess. Which, like, I don't know. I guess they had to keep building the case up leading up to the 2019 thing. Third person filing in center, jeans, gray sweater. France, Paris, December 2000. We're just jumping all over the place here. From left to right. December 2000. I guess there was some pictures. Apartment in New York. Albuquerque Museum. Can't really see much here. Zorro Ranch. Yes, these are the 20 pictures it said. There, you can't see fucking anything in these pictures anyway, so. Horse is unstable. Ranch, Zorro Ranch. Yep, okay. Date received, March 18. Okay. Nothing follows. March 9th. Like, these aren't even in order. Could we at least be in order? Items received, documents received from blank on blank. Oh, and here we go again in 2011. And they didn't prosecute him, properly prosecute him. Back in 2008, whatever it was, when he was arrested the first time. So here we go again. Okay, so this is, I guess, starting to cooperate with some of the victims to gain more evidence. Information by blank, also make contact with blank. Items produced, unclassified, except it's all blanked out. Okay. From Miami to Miami. Turned over to case agent. Miami, Florida, read and cleared. Determine a follow-up interview. Okay. So that main federal case is ongoing. At 10/80/62. So that'd be something to, if you could FOIA request just that. I wonder if it would come with all of the attached files. That might be the easiest way to go about it. More of these directions from that 505 flagler. So look that up too, I guess. Nothing. Singular records, subpoena. Okay, awful lot of fine print. More stuff going to the grand jury. Back to 2008, so that's cool. Alright, let's just throw it all in together here. Regarding pursuing strict rules of grand jury secrecy, I'll be able to provide you with information you've requested. I believe some information you're seeking is available from public source on the internet. Okay, super help. Okay, moving on to part 20. Okay, 500 pages deleted out of 22, so there might not be nothing here. Oh, something here. Results from administrative subpoena, 1 CD containing toll records, subpoena results, admin subpoena, original notes, result subpoena, administrative. Okay. Not really telling us much. August 30th, so this is leading up to the arrest. All legal requests. We have no call details. Okay. This is more of the subpoenas for telecommunications. This mean Metro PCS. How many different? I guess so. I guess whatever works. Clients just made personal appearance or protection records no later than there. Or is that the police? Maybe that's the police address. At one time, but some records have since been purged. Okay. Gosh darn it. Wonder how much you paid him to do that. Or if that was normal. Yeah, so this must be the police. Or one of the investigators' offices. FBI, yeah. Okay, where they were stationed, I guess. Fine then. Okay, that's it for that. So moving on to 341 pages deleted with the codes, and out of 116 are all pages, so might be something in here. Tax transaction function was not complete. Busy signal. Okay. It's like some faxing. More subpoenas. Custodian of records. Okay. Thank you and happy holidays. Was it a holiday? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Still going back and forth with Metro PCS. Okay. They're gonna charge him. Why not? Automated response. Okay. Someone deliver results request reply. Oh. Well, I didn't mean to. That was weird. I didn't even click. Like, what the fuck? Let's find a response now. Close enough, I guess. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Sprint legal compliance. It's all a bunch of nothing, though, to be honest. Like, it's just a bunch of their paperwork, their subpoenas, their internal faxing. It's nonsense. Code weight pieces. FBI. What is this? It's like a fucking shipping. Okay. Sprint Nextel. Unclassified, and yet it's classified. Alright. all kinds of this. Records couldn't be converted, so I just sent them digital media, routine, unclassified records, custodian. JetBlue subpoena. Okay, so their private jet usage. Please provide all flight reservation and billing information regarding the travel of blank, blank, blank. Okay. It's not gonna let us see it though. And I know we know they were looking for flight logs and all of that related evidence, so that all makes sense. 79 pages deleted. Okay, biographical file. So these are back to the MySpace. 275 friends. So popular. Yeah. Happiness makes the world go round. Oh, MySpace. I'm definitely getting like a blast from the past. Chasing cars, snow patrol. Oh, this was definitely like a victim. This was definitely like a teenager at the time. I could peg that. I could peg that easily. And it was like brand new. I don't even think. Yeah, I guess MySpace existed then. Yeah. These were like high schoolers. Like, come on, that tells me right there. Comments, blah blah. I can't really see anything else, but I guess so. These were definitely like some of the victims or decoys, maybe trying to fit that time as a teen. But oh, what a time it was! Yeah, yeah. What was I? I was like a teen then, mid-teens. So definitely was right there for that switch over from MySpace to Facebook. Watched all that go down. Interesting times. But you can't handle the truth. Okay. Making progress. We're getting there. This is like the second last one. Storage. Serve storage. Record. Verizon record. Specific who is proprietor there. Where would they go? I don't know. You tell me. Oh, somebody got fancy with their MySpace. This was somebody who knew how to do the code. HTML. Restless. Yeah, this was probably a teenager too, though. Like with the music embedded and the fancy font. Yep. Yep. It's kind of fun. You can't really see much, but from what you can see, it's like totally blast from the past. So I can get behind that at least. I can enjoy that. All right, moving on. Okay. Investigation, FOIA, deleted information sheet, total withheld pages. Okay. Oh, is this like the actual indictment thing? Oh, plea conference. Gary Krischer, Lina Belohlovic. Jack Goldberger. Alright. They congregate, proceed on no. Do they do I? Oh, okay, so this is like the fucking. This is like. Yeah, the meeting. Presiding Honorable Deborah Dale Puccillo plea conference. Alright. We done our due diligence for what it's worth. There's a reserved street. There are no children congregating on the street. We think the address applies, but doesn't. We fully recognize that he can't live there. This is them working out the plea deal. And by now, I guess Facebook did exist. What is this? What year is this? 2009? I guess it had literally just started. It's all brand new. So they're not allowed to contact, direct any of the victims. By direct, we mean no text messages, no email, no Facebook, no MySpace, no telephone calls, No voicemails, no messages through carrier pigeon. No messages through third parties. No, hey, would you tell so and so for me? No, having a friend, acquaintance, or stranger approach any of the victims with a message of any sort. Is that clear? Definitely. The first thing I would do is send a carrier pigeon for sure. Approved by the victim therapist and the court. Okay. The offender program becoming a condition of probation. Plaintiff to Adam Horowitz. Scheduled. Move for deposition. The undersigned counsel entered a written stipulation which he agreed Epstein will not attend tomorrow's deposition. May listen to the deposition on telephone. Okay. Motion for sanctions to compel deposition. Okay. Motion for protective order. Deposition originally scheduled. Undersigned his partner. Okay, so they're just kind of arranging when to do all of this, when to set up the hearing. One might be plaintiff. Mr. immediately made a left turn and exited through a separate set of doors to the garage area. Okay, so he's saying how he was already avoiding the plaintiffs. Okay. Yeah, there's not really much here. It's kind of just going back and forth. Defendant would also request reasonable fees, $200 per hour, require repair of the motion. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's just setting up everything. All the different counsel for the defense and prosecution and everybody in between. Mr. plans to be in attendance at the deposition of your client. He's not attending engaged conversation. However, it's certainly his right as party defending this lawsuit to be present to assist counsel. Yeah, so it's all the like red tape or whatever they're working around to keep things kosher. Okay, so the victims were trying to file a motion so that he couldn't attend the deposition. But I guess he has the right to. Plaintiffs see millions of dollars in damages, both compensatory. Okay. It's like arguing back and forth. It's so ridiculous. Like, he could just listen in by phone. He didn't really need to be there, but. Okay, so it shall cause him to be subject. Okay, so it's just all the terms. So yeah, I guess if you guys want to read through it, sort of a rundown about some of these lawsuits. Um, okay, I guess this was between one of them and their boyfriend. None of this is relevant. Or I guess they're bringing it in as relevant for the defense, but. For good cause issue in order to protect party person's annoyance, embarrassment, impression, or undue burden or expense, including one or more of the following. Okay. I guess some of them are being harassed, and they're probably trying to get them to be silent, trying to silence them. Going back and forth, up and down, requests for the protective orders. It's not really giving us much of anything. This is like... Okay, oath. I just feel like this is to give us a bunch of nonsense. Like, we couldn't really get too much out of this. But then they can say, oh yeah, but we dropped the files, so there you go, be happy. But, yeah, I feel like all this is stuff we probably could have got access to already anyways. Like, it's pretty easy to get court files. Court document files. Okay, I felt intimidated, I guess some of them I've seen on the day and they weren't supposed to cross paths. Professional reporter. Okay. Press Pros Court Reporting Agency. Okay. It's just like the financials, videotaped deposition. So between attorneys prior to swearing regarding cancellation of deposition, master tapes, I guess if you wanted to get a hold of those tapes, that might be the place to go. Oh, you can even click on it. Look at that. Might be worth checking into. I don't know. Available presentation services. I wonder if they even exist anymore. It was a long time ago. I suppose, though. This court kept on going. Never stopped. Okay. So it's been investigated. Seems like it's the same pages over again. And that's it. Wow. Wow, I feel so much more enlightened. So glad they released the Epstein files. I think they're supposed to be releasing more, like with the flight logs and other people involved. And there was some information, like that was confirmed. But, yeah, I feel like it was kind of purposely a lot of nonsense to distract people and get them off the trail in such a way. Good times.
Alright, now as promised, Epstein's flight manifests. But before we get into that, I do want to mention the Eyes Wide Open Telegram group, which is free to join, and where I post various media, resources, and updates. This is where I'll be sharing the Epstein's full little black book, unredacted, this evening, and I'll post the flight manifest there as well. I've also set up a Patreon, where I'll be sharing bonus and other content, free to all members, but some things may have early access available for paid members. I don't really believe in putting valuable information behind a paywall, but for those that would like to support the cause in general, and have access to added features and benefits, that's the spot. You can also follow me on Twitter, where I mostly just repost things that are related to the great big elephant in the room, but I should probably start posting there more as well. Everything's linked in the description. Now, without further ado, I'm going to run through this fairly quickly, but if you change the video settings to a slower speed, or want to pause and click through, you may do so. Much of it is in code, so make of it as you will. There are more court and other documents we can skim through. This is just what's been made available on the FBI.gov website and the manifests, which have been publicly available for a long time, but it was basically buried since 2019. So I guess we're making progress. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more. As some of you know, I've been uploading the Cappy livestream archives as cautiously as possible for research and historical purposes only. There were a number of streams where he talked about Epstein and Epstein associates, so I will be queuing those up as soon as possible. I do have a handful of projects on the go, some longer form documentaries and shorter investigative analysis pieces, so I will try to stay on top of the current the best that I can, but I am a solo outfit over here, and I do like to be detailed and thorough, so please be patient with me. I promise it'll be worth the wait. I have John Bonet Part 2 coming together more quickly now that the majority of the research is finally done. I kept falling into new rabbit holes every time I thought it was close to being done outlining the script, but it's all important information. I also need to take some breaks in between, because some revelations I discover with the topics that I cover, I struggle with sleeping and having an appetite. I do want to circle back to the next parts of the main Dark Hollywood series, specifically Drew Barrymore, and I have a whole Brittany Murphy saga I tried to release in a few different ways before the Diddy situation, but a lot has come to pass since, so it will need updating. But the overall is a 5-part series. All this is in the works and more, so make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.